Good morning. Hope you're all doing great. We're still in Grand Vizier mode. Yesterday, I'm here with another morning rant to encourage you on your path, to give you strength, drop some jewels. As always, wisdom, abundance, prosperity, peace, protection, happiness, with love, harmony, and focus always. So, yesterday, after the morning rant, right? When we spoke about that we want to create something for someone and drop it out there as a funding package and also as an exit item for the girls who are where they are going, to see maybe if our people can benefit from that. Guys, you will not believe this. Like I always say, it's hateful sometimes to see this kind of thing, to see our people in a state like that. But I'm just going to give you, I'm not going to judge the person because I don't know what they were going through and where they were in their emotions and all that. So I went to Total Sports yesterday to look for the guy from yesterday's video. If you don't know about the story, check yesterday's upload. But it was about me assisting him with his farming dream, to develop a concept for him which can be fundable. Not for him paying anything, but to test. I had said I will ask him to buy me a battery, which is 10 rand, a AA battery for my mouse. You understand? So I went there. First I went, and then I looked for him in the shop. He was not yet there. He was still busy busy somewhere. So I asked the people in the shop. They said, no, he's not yet here. You will arrive here later on. So I waited outside the shop. When he arrived, I didn't see him. So when I just put up my eyes, then I saw, like, he's there. So he was inside the shop. So I went inside. And then, unfortunately, maybe my approach was also bad, or maybe the presence of other people was also not bad, because maybe other people don't want their dreams to be shared in the presence of other people. So I wouldn't judge him. You understand? So me, being somebody who is transparent, somebody who is upfront, me, I don't hide stuff. I put it out there, even if, I think maybe the way I've been principled, I used to watch movies, the kung fu movies, Japanese movies, Chinese movies, where you don't go and attack somebody from behind. You say to the person, you know what, we are fighting now. Then you bow your heads. Then you start fighting. And when the person falls down, you don't go and start now beating the molest on the ground. No, you say, you know what, stand up, my man. Let's continue the fight. And if you lose, you admit, you know what, man, I've lost. And you give in. If you win, same story. You don't gloat and go, just say, you know what, look, next time, but today I've won. Then you move on. So I'm transparent. Even if I'm doing something which people say, this one is hush hush, me, I will talk. That's why people say in Remakua, because I talk. Me, I'm transparent. You understand? This, my cards are on the table. Then I'll tell you, I'm going to do this. Then you bring all the opposition that you want to bring in. The reason why I do that is, if I have to achieve something, I have to achieve it with all the opposition, maximum opposition possible, so that if I get that thing, there's no other opposition that is going to come for me. That is my principle, where I'm coming from. So I need people to understand where I come from. If you do something hiding, it means when you are at the level where you have achieved that thing, those things that you were hiding for can now start coming at you because you have not defeated them, you have not overcome them, you have avoided them. So me, I don't want to avoid. I don't want avoidance. I want direct confrontation. You understand? Although I do guerrilla warfare and all that, but I want direct, so that if you want to bring all your troops for the battle, then you do that. Then I defeat you with all your troops. You understand? So that you don't say, but you know what? Maybe we're not fully equipped. You were equipped because I told you up front. Like I say to you, I'm going to do a design of that. So that if someone wants to sabotage me, they'll come. And then, with wisdom from above, from divine love, from divine wisdom, then we overcome whatever that challenge is. Then you go and understand that, you know what, look, there's nothing that you can do which is above divine love, which is above divine wisdom from above. Uchenjeri hwekumatare hunoyera here hwauya uchenjeri. So I went. So this guy was standing with two other women. So they were talking, and then I approached. Hey, how's it? And I'm like, no, I was looking for you. I came looking for you earlier on, and then I explained the whole story. Then I explained what I want to do and all that. Then I'm saying, okay, look, what I want to find out is, do you have a targeted piece of land that you are targeting? And he said, no, I don't have a piece of land. Then I'm like, okay, where do you come from? And I said, I come from Mamelodi. Then I'm like, okay, but your rural area, because what we can do, we can try to approach the traditional council in your particular. Then the guy just changed his face like uninterested, looked at the women, and then he's like uninterested at all. I'm like, I thought you said you wanted farming stuff. Now, like, you know what? I don't have a rural area or anything. I'm from Mamelodi, that's it. Then I'm like, okay, so, but is there a particular rural area that you might be interested in? Because me, I can talk to any tribal council because I've worked on projects for many tribal councils. So I can easily go to a tribal council and say, you know what, look, there's this person, because I've done it with many other people, to go and look for land for them. I've done that. So I can still do it, you understand, with him. So I wanted to do that. Then he's like, you know what, man? Right now I will talk to you later. I'm busy with whatever I'm doing. Then the woman laughed. I was so embarrassed. The way he treated me there, given a condition that I'm trying to help. I was so disappointed. Man, I can't say how disappointed I was. I wasn't disappointed in him the way he treated me, no. I was disappointed in the way he just threw away a golden opportunity for him, for his lineage, for his whatever. Because after that, because already I had a concept of what I want to do, but I wanted to do it for him. Then I said, it's your loss, man. There's nothing I can do. Like I always say, it's me to advise and you to decide how you want to proceed with my advice. You can either take it or you can either leave it or still move on. So I went out, sat down on the bench outside that shop, hoping that maybe he would think and come to me. So he didn't. So I said, you know what, look, like I said, I'm just going to develop a concept. So for me, Mpumalanga and Dr. J.S. Moroka is in Nkangala district is the district which I worked in when I was still an engineer for the Department of Agriculture in Mpumalanga. So I have it at heart. So then I looked for an area in Mpumalanga which is Kwakafontein. Then I looked at the traditional council which is there. Then I looked at a piece of land. Then I developed the concept that I did. Because in Kankala, if you look at it, especially that area of Komklang, many livestock farmers, they struggle in terms of how they can feed their cattle. So establishing a system like that. So what it does, this project which I conceptualized was, we have a vertical farm where we produce the grass and ore, and then from the grass and ore, it goes to the silage production plant, where the silage production plant does the silage production, and also it has got a feed pelletization system, which produces pellets for that to be packaged and sold to livestock farmers, where they struggle with pastures and veiled lands. Because if you look at the grass content, grass quality that is then in that region, it's not able. If you look, in most cases, when they do veiled and pasture studies and management and all that, most of the results which came from there, for example, we did a project at Fundamulimi, which is also in Tembisile Hani municipality. So at that Fundamulimi, what actually came out is the veiled capacity of that particular grass was less than, like, I think it was 5 hectares or 6 hectares per livestock unit or something like that, which means you need 5 hectares to feed one beast. I understand. That shows you the quality of the grass which is there. So if we were to produce something, a vertical farm of some sort, which produces that grass, and that grass is added value by turning it into silage, mixing it with molasses and all that, and then from there, we now can sell it directly to other livestock farmers, or we can also pelletize it to become pellets. And then also on that particular project, I've said, instead of just allowing, depending on external farmers, let's also establish a 1,000 cattle feedlot. So it has got a feedlot with a capacity of 1,000 settlement at any given time. It has got a pelletization plant. It has got a silage mixing and production plant. It has got a vertical farm for that. So that's what I conceptualized. So I wanted to conceptualize that for him. You understand? As a way of a business that he can start with a cooperative or something like that. So I said, you know what? Let me just do this concept. And then from this concept, we look for a cooperative within that area, which we can use, which we can give this concept to. And then myself, I know I can talk to many tribal councils. We talk to the tribal councils, they give them a piece of land. Then I use that information with the girls where they have gone to look for that funding. I have got friends in European Investment Bank, I've got friends in African Development Bank, I've friends in Southern African Development Bank, I've got friends in Arab Investment Bank. I can always talk to people. I've looked for funding for many people, for many of their projects. I've done it before. I can still do it. So that is how we're going to approach that and see how it works. But that was my story from yesterday. But anyway, it's one of those things. Like I always say, me, I stand on my words. If I say I'm going to do this, I will do that. Unless if you, the person I've put the bond to, do something else. It's like, for example, in all the stuff that I do, if I tell you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to teach you this, I'm going to make you learn this, I'm going to make you understand this, I always do that. And I give all, you understand? Which is also what I do, even with the girls that I was working with before, even with the girls that I was working with now, even those I'm going to work with again in the future. I don't hold back. I give all the information for you to make a decision on your own and then grow from there. Not to suppress anyone, but to empower. And I also value the effort that other people do. Reciprocity for me is important. You understand? So, just to give you, let's say for example, I was working with I acknowledge people who have done contributions in my life. For me to be where I am today, it's because a lot of other people put in a lot of effort also. But like I always say, myself, I've got to a position or a level of understanding that there are certain places where you cannot take certain people to. Their job will be done at that particular point. So it's time for you to move on. For example, I've got a family where I was brought up from. My parents, they gave me good quality education. My sisters, we are four in our family. My sisters gave me supportive roles in my growing up, in all the stuff that I was doing, in all the things that I went through in my life. And I appreciated that. I valued that, to say the contribution that they have done. But then we got to a point where I said, look guys, what I know about myself, there are things which affects me spiritually. And these things that affect me spiritually, I want not to hide away from them. Because in our generation, people have been hiding away from these kind of things. And they continue from generation to generation. So I said, me, I want to take it head on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go deep into the dark to face it head on. And then when I get into the dark, overcome it. And then I separate myself away from whatever the thing is. The spiritual energies which are attached or which were attached. And then I can now live my life the way I want after that. So the family, obviously, it wasn't for it. So what I decided, I said, you know what, look, I'm not going to go anywhere with these people. They have a level of understanding which is different from mine now. We're operating at different frequencies. I love them, but I have to let them go. Like I always told you, I detach. Me, I don't go to hold to stuff. But because I acknowledged what they did for me, so what I did, I gave them exit packages. I said, you know what? I'm going to get 500K. This 500K, I'm going to divide it into them. My mom, my 3 sisters, and my brother-in-law. So your brother-in-law, distribute these funds. That's what I did. I want you to buy something that you can buy for yourselves, that you can acknowledge, or when you look at it, you say, this is what our brother did for us. It's either a business, a startup capital, it's either a plot or a stand or whatever. So others, they got stands. And my mom, because she's into farming and all that, she bought a pickup truck for her to transport her goods and all that. And then the other sister formed her business. And then I said, okay, you others, there's nothing much I can assist you with, because you have chosen path which I cannot contribute anything to it. Because I cannot do anything if you buy a car. I cannot do anything else. There's nothing I cannot say, let me get you a contract to deliver goods or something. I cannot say, let me get a contract to build your house or something like that. No. You understand? But this one who said, I'm going to invest into a business for training. Then I said, okay, me, I work in Mpumalanga, and I've got a project which is for training of youth. So what I'm going to do, in one of the components that I'm working on, I'll bring you in to do NARISEC training, which is what we did. We did a flagship NARISEC training. And because of the contribution that and the effort that they were really putting into that project, they really put serious effort. That's one of a kind of a project that we did, which has never been done. The style that we did and the style that they implemented. You know, I would say to him, do this, do this, do this. He would follow guidance. And he did great work. They did great work. And both with the husband. You understand? So I said, this is my way of empowering you. From here, you are on your own. Guys. So I left them. I cut them off. Because I realized we will fight for them to get to a level of understanding of what I really want to do. Because I hadn't started doing this spewing that I'm doing now. I was still battling with cleaning up the energy which was attached to me. You understand? So I realized I will not be able to do this or achieve this with these people with me and the way they are thinking. It's not gonna happen. So I cut them off. Then I left. And then I said to my wife, who was my wife at that particular time, my ex-wife now, look, as I told you from the start, even when we were still at church, that there is something which is attached to me, which I need to clean up. I need your help to do this spiritual work. If we do this spiritual work together, we clean up this, then we can enjoy all the stuff that we can enjoy. She consulted others. She said, no, me, I'm not for it. I don't want to go into the dark and come back and do whatever you are talking of. Sorry. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? Everything that we own, it's yours. Houses, cars, businesses, trucking businesses, and all that. Because I acknowledge the role that she played in my life. For me to be where I am now, she took me through a lot of stuff. Some hateful, some happy moments, some bad moments. She was the mother of my kids. She was there for me. She helped me in the business establishment. She helped me in all the stuff. I acknowledge that. And I said, I'm going to give you everything that we worked for together as a way of appreciating that. But I know I can get anything that I want at any given time. I don't need to be attached to anything. I detach. Because I know even if I give you all this stuff, if you cannot manage it in your heart, there's no love. You will lose everything. And I will still get all that stuff with love in my heart. So I really don't care about those kind of material. I'm not materialistic like at that level. So I said, here is everything. Businesses, all that. And the houses, I'm leaving. Took my bag, only my bag of clothes. Then I went out. Then I said, I'm going to look for people who can assist me to get rid of this, clean this thing, so that I can be at the level where I can be. So I looked for a team of girls to assist me in that. I worked with the girls, and then we got, like I said, we got to a point now where they're like, man, this is becoming too dark, too deep. We are not for it. Sorry. But I promised them that, you know what, I'll give you this, I'll give you this. Even after that, my word is my bond. I gave them their packages, their amounts. One of them was fired by my ex-wife, and then I gave some other funds at a later time. And the other one, who also refused to work, but when I looked at the Facebook profile, I saw some of the areas where she was complaining that things are not well. Then I just, as if it's by mistake, paid money into her account quietly. She can acknowledge that. And then she was asking the person I was working with, did Chief do something for me? What was? Then I'm like, I don't know anything. It was a mistake. I don't even know anything. Because I'd promised them that I would take care of them because of the work that also assisted me. Because the idea is, for them to help me with understanding the energies which were around. So by them channeling the energy, it helped me quiz the spiritual energy for me to find ways of overcoming it. That was the point. That was their work. Their work was for them to channel the energies in its various form. And then when they do that, me, I'll be able to quiz, to talk to the spiritual energies. When I talk to the spiritual energy now, I'll be able to understand, okay, so this energy is like this. It works like this. It does this. So if I am to overcome this, I have to use this method. That was the job only. For me to be able to decipher, I needed someone who is outside. Because if I channel the energy myself, then someone else is not going to be able to say, you were saying this, so do that. You understand? I wanted someone who can assist me in channeling that. And then when they do that, they do channel that, and then they do their other things, which has nothing to do with channeling that spiritual energy. And then once we clean up that, then we are in where we want to be. So, of course, they said it's too dark. Then I was left with one that I was working with. So I worked with her, and we got to a point again. Instead of understanding that, you know what, we are trying to get rid of the spiritual energy which is here. She now went into an agreement with the spiritual energy to dominate now, to sabotage now. You understand? Then I'm like, no, we want to overcome this. The spiritual energy is clever, it's doing this, but we want to find ways in which we can overcome it. But I need your help to make sure that, you know what, we get to that level. Then we were not going anywhere. You understand? So I was stuck. And then I had to say, you know what, look, let me try to find other ways of doing it. So then I tried going into the dark myself, alone, and all that. But what I could only get is glimpses of here and there, do this here, I can do that, here I can do that, and all that. Until the time where I had to go to the rehabilitation facility, where I had to now do a reset. And then I went to a rehabilitation facility. When I went there, we had done a project with the person that I was no longer working with again. And I said to them, because of your contribution of what you did in this project, 30% of that man is yours. So that I think it was around 300, 425 or something like that. Then the A contribution was around, his portion was around 180k that particular time. And people questioned, why are you giving oh, this man, what is he doing? I'm like, people, you don't know how certain people have contributed in my life. It's not about the physical things that you see. It's about you not knowing what you are doing, but you helping me by just me getting to understand certain things. To me, that is important because it's strategy. So I gave you the value of that. And we still now have a project that we have done, which was supposed to be paid 750k, of which 30% is hers. Even though I no longer work with her. My word is my bond. I don't move from my words. If I say I'm going to do this, I'll do that. And I want reciprocity. I want also a person I work with. If they say they are going to do this, they must do exactly that. That's what I only ask. So like I say, right now we're still waiting for an invoice from the Northwest project, which we are supposed to be paid around 750k, of which 30% is their amount. for the work that she has assisted me in doing, even though I no longer work with her. But I appreciate the value, which is the same thing which happened when I gave the properties and everything to my ex-wife. And then one of the houses, which we were using as the office in Waving Park there, which is a 3-bedroom, because it still had a bond which was on it, because I said I want one house to be in a bonded state so that I always have a credit thing happening. You understand? So I left it with a bond like that. Then, of course, she didn't want a house with a bond. She only wanted the ones which are fully paid. Then, for me, I said, I don't want anything to do with anything that I did from my past relationships. I want to start something new because I know I can always get anything that I want. So I gave it to my brother-in-law. People questioned again, why are you doing that? Why are you? I said, I don't want anything to do with this. And this one is a relative to her. So I'm going to give it to him. What he only needs to do is to pay up the bond. And the house is his. Which is where he's staying now. You understand? So, for me, I always say, my word is my bond. And detachment is key. Always. So I'm just giving you this history so that you get to understand that I don't just talk of stuff, I also do that stuff. And for me, I stand on justice. I stand on the upliftment of those who have been disadvantaged. Which is now where we stand. With the girls that I was working with now, we started working. And then we got to a point where, for me, whatever I'm doing, I want to balance the injustice that has happened to the black population. That one I have to be upfront with everyone. Always. In all my projects, I always tell people, I want to balance the injustice which has been done to the black population. So if anything is against that, I'm not for it. So the challenge that I had in this instance is girls, they got to be taught stuff and all that. And then instead, they were given an opportunity to join certain institution. But then the condition which was attached to that institution is them having the other side as handlers. And they also wanted me to be part of that, to be handled. I said no. So, as part of the package, they bought me a property in Cape Town. They bought me a vehicle which was imported from the US, or the one that I always wanted, F-250. I told them, you know what? You can keep your stuff. Me, I'm not for that. Me, I want to see the black population, which was disadvantaged, uplifted through wisdom, knowledge, understanding, love, peace, and harmony. Wisdom, abundance, prosperity, peace, protection, happiness. That's my principle. And I stand on justice. So the girls said, you know what, look, for us, this feels like home. We thank you for your contribution. We thank you for your knowledge. We thank you for your teachings. We need your blessings to go. I'm like, you know what? You have my blessings, but I cannot go with you. I will remain here. Because for me, I know a house, a car means nothing to me. Because I can get 10 houses, 10 cars through hard work that I do, through wisdom, through understanding, through love. Which is, right now I'm just going through finishing off whatever I'm finishing. And after this, the items I'm talking about, I'll get them. I've done that many times. People who know me, I've lost stuff detached from it. I've had cars repossessed. I've had houses repossessed. And after that, I've had an improved house. I lost all my work, registered a company, got 10 times what I was getting. Lost my house, got the Montana Park house, which was way above that house. I lost the Montana Park house, I lost the farm, then I got the Pebble Rock house, which was way above that house. I gave that Pebble house a house to my ex-wife, and like I tell you, I will tell you in upfront what I'm manifesting. I posted my manifestation, which I'm going to get. You understand? Which I'm going to get. Then I'll say, this is the post. Already with the stuff I'm spewing right now, there's no doubt I'm going to get that. You understand? That's how I believe in myself. Through the work that I've done on myself. So I've finished all of this stuff. I cut off that spiritual energy which was troubling me. I'm now in a space where I'm free. I can start. Then that's how now my crown opened. For me to be able now to receive information of designs and all that I'm doing now. Because nothing is now sitting on my crown, which was sitting on my crown before, which is that spiritual energy. So I've got rid of it. Now I can safely start a new life going forward. And I've started now. And I was giving myself some time to check if really everything is fine. And it's fine. And the ladies that I was working with, they are on their new path, which is now I'm starting again with the next batch of those I'll work with. So we'll see how it works. We'll see how it goes. But for one thing I can promise you, for me, what I manifest, it always comes to pass. I've never told anyone anything that has never manifested. I know the gift that I have because I work with love from the heart, from above. I work with wisdom from above. Heart is filled with love. That's where I stand. So that's my rant. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue just to finish off the project worksheets of that particular project, and then I'll post it out there. I use it as samples so that other people can easily copy that information and circulate amongst themselves. Copy that example, use it elsewhere. That is what is important to me. For me, Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Northwest, I have them at heart because they are communities which I feel they are a bit not uplifted. So if I can do my contribution to them, to uplift them, I'll feel better. And the love which is inside me can be expressed through me helping the communities to achieve greater goals that they might not have been able to achieve. So let's see how it goes. But my manifestation is I want to see love, I want to see wisdom, I want to see abundance, prosperity, peace, protection, happiness in my people. The black community which has been disadvantaged. I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but I want to see injustice being corrected and people getting to the level where they can be economically independent and free through agriculture, through road infrastructure development. That's the tool that I'm using with the wisdom that I empower them with to achieve that goal. So I also achieve that through teaching like I'm doing now. And I teach with examples of my life for people to have an understanding that I'm not just talking of things which I have not gone through myself. I've gone through this and I've detached, and this is what has happened to my life. And I'm still here and I'm still going on. So that's what I say. And where I'm going, some people will not understand. So if you do not understand, there's no reason for me to be attached to you, because what is going to happen, we're going to continuously fight. But what I do, I give you an exit package, then we go different ways, which is what I've done. I've done it and I'll still do it. I don't hold anything. I'll still do it with anyone. It doesn't matter who I'm going to encounter in future. If we do something together and we get to a level where your level, because for me, I want to thrive for wisdom, thrive for gaining knowledge, thrive for uplifting myself, thriving for growing spiritually, my soul growing, expressing itself. So if you are going to be stagnant and stay in one place, that's not me. The only constant in my life is change. We change, we grow, we go up. So that's my word. Anyone who's going to deal with me in the future will know that. That's enough. So that should be it for me. I love you guys, and please keep it wise, keep it knowledge, keep it abundance, keep it prosperity, peace, protection, and happiness. With love, you can do anything. Stay in harmony, stay in focus. Always use a strategy which works for you. My advice is there to guide you, but you are free to choose what you want for yourself. I love you. And I will say, there's always somebody who heals the heart every time, whenever you go through all this. That's why you always hear me singing. Kune murapi wemoyo, okune murapi wemoyo, ekune murapi wemoyo, kumabude zuva. Ekune murapi wemoyo, kune murapi wemoyo, ekune murapi wemoyo, kumabude zuva. Ekune murapi wemoyo, kune murapi wemoyo, ekune murapi wemoyo, kumabude zuva. He kana tagona tifambe, kana tagona tifambe, kana tagona tifambe, kumabude zuva. O kana tagona tifambe, kana tagona tifambe, kana tagona tifambe, kumabude zuva. Nzvimbo yedzananguro, umbiya yerununuro, onguwo yeruchengetedzo, tagadzirira. Nzvimbo yedzananguro, umbiya yerununuro, onguwo yeruchengetedzo, tagadzirira. Nzvimbo yedzananguro, umbiya yerununuro, onguwo yeruchengetedzo, tagadzirira. Kumborero. I love you guys. You know me and music. My voice is not yet perfected, but I manifest that it gets to the level of perfection where I can sing my heart out. I love you guys. Check you on the flip side.